Yeah, that's 2021 almost over. It was a mess. A big disappointing mess. So much was promised and it just failed to deliver. Tony, you've used the wrong photo. There, that's better. November began with COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland, an event in which world leaders got together to discuss what should be done to combat climate change. I was actually in Glasgow while all of that was going on. There were police all over the place.
About 10,000 officers from around the UK will police each day of COP26, making it one of the biggest operations of its kind in Britain. The cost of policing the event has been estimated at around £250 million.
And understandably so, because a lot of important people were in Glasgow at the time. And if you were an aspiring or even professional assassinator, then chances are at least one of your desired targets would have been found in Glasgow at that time. The message of saving the planet is really important to so many world leaders though. US President Joe Biden was sure to emphasise that by making his big entrance with his convoy of 20 SUVs that came speeding in from the motorway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. People criticised him for doing that, but the convoy only had 19 cars in it when they all set off driving over to Scotland from America. November is also when Remembrance Sunday takes place. On Remembrance Day we wear poppies to show respect for those who have sacrificed in world conflicts so that we could have a better future. So it's an event which continues to be held in the greatest reverence.
There you go! Cookie!
I mean, I don't know whose idea it was while everyone was trying to remember the fallen to put Chris Tarrant on the one show. On Remembrance Sunday this year, there was one very rude man who attempted to commit an act of terrorism at a women's hospital in Liverpool. However, after travelling to the hospital in a taxi, the driver apparently locked the man in the car and wouldn't let him out. So when the homemade bomb did detonate, he was trapped in the car when it went off and the explosion's effects were limited. Miraculously, the driver, David Perry, managed to escape with only minor injuries and was later hailed as a hero. Probably still got a parking ticket though, knowing hospital parking restrictions. Back to Scotland, where November began with us following the COP26 event in Scotland. It also ended with a bit of Scottish news, because the last day of November is Scotland's national holiday, St Andrew's Day. I'm English, and there is a stigma in Scotland that English people overlook Scotland, especially when reporting in the media. Well, I'm going to dispute that by covering in great detail Scotland's next story. We've got a new variant.
The new Omicron variant of coronavirus is likely to pose a very high global risk, and some regions will face severe consequences from it.
Right, okay, we're back on this kind of news again. So the idea of travel bans began to be entertained again, where if you're travelling from a country in which the Omicron variant was found to be doing the rounds, then you weren't allowed back in the country, unless you have a layover in a different country on the way back, because then border control thinks that was your departing country. Then you can come in and make everybody sick. Over in the States, the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse took place. Kyle Rittenhouse is the teenager who shot 3 men with an assault rifle, killing 2 of them, amid civil unrest last year, claiming to be acting out of self-defense. However, prosecutors accused him of acting like an armed vigilante. Thankfully, topics such as American politics, gun control and civil rights protests are not topics that anybody really has any strong opinion on, so I don't think I have to cover this any further. November ended with Storm Arwen hitting the UK. Parts of the country were disrupted by high winds and heavy snow. Some of us were barely coming to terms with the idea that it's autumn now, so this was one of the last things we wanted to have to put up with. However, it's in these challenging times that we get to witness real-life tales of heroism, courage and survival. And Storm Arwen was no exception. After 60 people ended up being stranded on Friday night in the country's highest pub, the Tan Hill Inn over in the Yorkshire Dales. A blizzard left the customers trapped there for 3 days with no way to get home, and with nothing to keep them occupied but a pub quiz, watching live music, singing karaoke, multiple slap-up meals by the pub chef, darts, pub snacks, board games and an abundance of beverages. reporters were finally able to hear about all of the things that they had to go through.
Heaven, it's something I'll never ever forget.
What was it like with a load of strangers stuck in a remote pub?
Well, it was just fantastic community spirit, honestly.
Really good.
And I've said earlier, it was like a party with a big group of friends. We became all quite friendly with each other, you know, and people have been swapping telephone numbers, Facebooks and everything, you know. We've all become good friends. We gelled as quite a good group, really. I mean, we have talked about having a reunion next year.
Sport! Unfortunately, it's all football. We'll start with the women's football, as the Women's FA Cup took place. Women's football is usually more entertaining to watch than men's football, because female footballers aren't as fragile as male footballers, and they don't fall over as much. In men's football, the World Cup Qualifiers took place. England beat San Marino 10-0, much to the disappointment of everyone not English.
And it's 10.
10-0 sounds like it would have been an exciting match, but nobody turned up to watch it, so they had to add in a sound effect of an underwhelmed cheer every time there was a goal.
Harry Kane. Top corner this time.
Only it seemed to be the same sound effect every time.
Still Harry Kane gets the fourth.
Hey!
Looking for Abraham, nice touch, Smith Rowe!
Hey!
Alexander-Arnold looking for Mings.
Hey!
Here's Abraham. There's 9.
In fact, they just had that cheer noise in anytime anything happened. Here's someone falling over. Hey! And Scotland beat Denmark 2-0.
Shea Adams is onto it. It's Adams!
That's how you're supposed to cheer when someone scores. Hey! That was a well-played match by Scotland, though. Now, the interesting thing about Scotland is whenever they do have a football